What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea. And tonight we are back at it again, covering BB26. Guys, the finale has come and gone. We have a new winner. But before we get into that, Patrick, what's up, man? How you been?
Yeah, I'm great. It's great to be here. I mean, hey, it's going to be hard to say goodbye for a little bit. This has been a pleasure. You've done a great job hosting. It's been a blast with you gentlemen. So very excited to finish out.
Uncle Shane, are you going to miss BB26?
Yeah, like I last night I was walking around like, what am I gonna do? Like I have nothing going on, and I probably won't see you guys again for about a year.
Jesus Christ. I
That's
hope.
It's a little morbid, but listen, BB26 is come and gone, but we got still some stuff to talk about. I just kind of want to focus on the finale because I feel like there's a lot of good stuff to kind of delve into there. Um, First of all,
Do we want to talk about your glasses?
Wait,
what? What?
Did you rob some old lady?
Oh my God. I keep getting flamed for these glasses, man. What's wrong with them?
I,
oh,
I just
cool.
haven't seen it. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I think it's like you look like if Jeffrey Dahmer was an engineer. That's
God. Okay. Listen, that's not what we're here to talk about, guys. But let's talk about some of the jury roundtable segments. First of all, I don't think we talked about this, but when Leah came into the jury house, there were some rumblings about her and Quinn being maybe a thing.
that's crazy to me. Does that not throw anybody else off? Because I mean, I know you're excited to see him because he's your friend, but like you made it real obvious in the house. You're like, I'm not really into this guy. And then once you left, you're like, maybe there's something. And I'm like, what? Really? Quinn's a great guy. Hey, if there's love there, there's love there. But I mean, come on.
He's definitely one of the more likable guys, but
Yeah.
I was thrown by the fact that he was constantly wearing a skirt. Like, did you
Mm.
guys notice that? Like, multiple, like his outfits are bizarre, and I could see him losing Leah over that.
He's out there. He's gonna just take her clothes by accident, and that's gonna cause a fight. And
How about
What
when
did
Angela, though? Angela tried to like hose him in the house, and she's like, "You're not into him." And then she kind of stepped up, and she's like, "No, I'm kind of into him." And then you could see his face like that. She came to him, like he
yeah,
was so excited.
yeah, that was great too because Angela thinks she knows everything, and
Yeah,
so and especially with Quinn, like they were kind of like enemies. So he's like, "Fuck yeah,
yeah. He just looks at the camera every time she opens up her mouth, which is my favorite.
yeah." It's just see Jim Halpert's. It's like, and you, we're all seeing and hearing this, right?
Speaking of Angela, let's jump a little bit forward to the finale where they have everybody out there, and the interaction between her and Matt. What did you guys think? I thought it was super awkward.
I thought this whole finale was really awkward.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel that? I thought it was like the pacing was weird. I felt like nobody was really into it, and I was like, "What the heck?" And then especially that whole segment, weird, weird segment. And listen, Matt seems like a nice enough guy. Weird. Just I saw it on social media because I was looking up after. I was like, did they like fight or anything like after the fact? Because that was a whole weird thing. And I went on Matt's Instagram, and you can see when he left, and he was rooting for Mackenzie the entire time. He was like, "That's my girl," and I was like, "You guys knew each other for 10 days." Weird. Also, he made a like Instagram, like he made a video. He's like, "All right, now I'm campaigning for America's favorite house guest," and I was like,
Oh God.
"Matt, bro, no." Like, why would you be America's favorite house? Like, you were there for 10 days. No, and like he's like kind of a weird guy, but also that whole situation kind of funny that Angela was like, I'm not sorry at all. I don't care. I'm standing. She doubled down, which weird, funny. It was funny though.
Yeah, it was funny. Because she didn't know yet like what America thought of her. So like she's still going off. She's from the jury house. She has no idea. So I think she's going to be I think she's going to be quite shocked soon, or she has to be by now. But the funny thing is that Matt's a handsome guy, and I think he's like posting on social, and people are probably receiving him well. So he thinks that he can do this thing on live television and be like, you know what? I forgive you. And I heard a little something from a friend who was watching. It's like, okay, well, it was you watching the feeds. Okay, so stop. And I heard that maybe you were wondering if I'd give you a hug, and she's like, nah, it wasn't wondering that at all. And then his face, like he just looked like an idiot because you can't open yourself up with like a live wire like Angela. You just don't know what she's gonna say.
Just close the book on that. It's like, Matt, stop, dude, stop.
He seemed like he was thanking her for what she did to him in the house, and I was just not really understanding. Like he was trying to take the high road, but she still was like doubling down. It was just like so weird to me. It was just weird.
She didn't let him have his moment. He was trying to use her I've grown, and I just want to thank you for it. And it was just like it totally backfired in his face. It was so awkward.
Yeah, and like I love that Julie was like, Matt, you want to get something off your chest, and he's like, you know what, I do. I've become a better person. I was like, first of all, she called you crazy eyes. Relax. You're at the forefront of bullying, okay, dude. Relax.
How iconic would it have been for her to double down and call him crazy eyes again? Just repeat the whole thing.
She kind of did. She was like, well, I mean what I said. Like I think that would have been funny if she was like, I do think you have crazy eyes. You do have crazy eyes. But like for Julie to be like, Matt, you want to get something off your chest? And Matt's like, I'm just the humblest dude you've ever met. And I forgive you forever, Angela. And I kind of love, she was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, all right, Angela. But like, again, during this whole thing, even at the round table, I was like, Angela, you suck. You're so annoying. Like, she just sucks so much.
How do you think Julie felt? Because she like initiated the whole thing. Matt, do you have something you want to say? And then he gets destroyed. Then wouldn't you feel terrible? Like that you were the cause of that?
Honestly, I tried to help him. Yeah. How about also Taylor Hale was the host of the round table. There was a point where she told Angela, it's not about you. It's not about you anymore, Angela. How did you guys think of Taylor being the host? I thought she did really well.
I thought she was phenomenal.
I like her so much more than Dr. Will. I know you guys are Dr. Will fans. I am not. I think he's a loser. I think he's really bizarre looking. I just can't stand him as a human being. And Taylor deserves to do it. I think she's great.
Yeah, I think that was. I thought that was. Dr. Will looks like Jack Frost to me for some reason. Like he looks like the embodiment of Jack Frost. I don't know if that's cool or not. I think it's weird, but I love Taylor. When I went to the casting call for 2 seasons ago, she was there. And I ran into her in line. I was like, oh, hey. And she was like, you auditioning? And I was like, yeah. Couldn't have been sweeter. She was like, go in, be yourself, kill it. I mean, it was very brief, but she's awesome. And I thought she killed this entire segment. And I love, she asked a lot of great questions. She put Angela in her place. I love it because Angela was, again, making it about her, which she does. And Angela kind of riffed on it and was making, pointing fun at her. And so it was fun.
They kind of discussed all 3 of the final 3 and like potential, ways for them to win. Did you guys think like the segment with like how Cam was supposed to win? Do you guys think, what are we doing? Why are we even bringing this up?
Yeah, it's exactly right. It was like, we have a little time to kill. We have to throw his name in there too. And they're like, he was a D1 athlete. Let's not forget that. And he racked up a lot of second places. Okay, well, second places don't mean anything.
Also, I don't think he did rack up a bunch of second places. Like, I think they just said that. I
think he was D3.
Yeah. He got smoked in every competition. I mean, just one of the most fuck. I mean, I would have. Bowie Jane was more of an argument to win
Pat, you
than.
love bringing up Bowie Jane, man.
I mean,
That's your
I mean,
she's your
it's
fave.
true. She's like, at least she won a few fucking things.
I heard all the dogs in his crib turned off the TV.
Dude, after week 6, I would be like, Cam, you're not. You call yourself the chameleon. You should call yourself a sloth, dude. This is a snooze.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think the biggest, I mean, we'll talk some more about some of the people at the finale, mainly Tucker. I want to talk about Tucker a lot, but the decision, Mackenzie's decision, I think that's the big, game centric thing. I saw some stuff afterwards in an interview with Mackenzie where she thought she had 4 votes no matter what against Chelsea. She was saying that she thought that she had Quinn's vote, Leah's vote, Angela's vote, and Rubina's vote. But is this kind of just like a no-brainer? Are you guys like are you guys shocked that she ended up taking Chelsea as opposed to, almost the layup with Cam?
I'm not shocked because I knew she was going to make that mistake. Like I knew it was, I think everybody pretty much knows it was a huge mistake. You easily win against Cam. Um, I don't think that she understood Chelsea to be as great a player as she was. I think Mackenzie got caught up like she was being like silly, making silly faces. And I think she could hear the crowd laughing. Like I think she could hear it, and that was like feeding that. And she got into like, I think she thought because she was a comp beast, um, that was what's going to carry her. And she forgot all about the social part of the game. It's interesting that you say that she thought she had 4 people. I mean, I could imagine those people voting for her. And it was just such a stupid move at the end, but she was just so full of herself that she couldn't think that she would make a mistake.
Yeah. Because I think number one, Mackenzie, I think she was going to make that. She kind of had a predetermined, I'm bringing Chelsea, which I agree. I think she completely overlooked Chelsea's game. And I think the biggest thing she overlooked was how good of a speaker that Chelsea is. I mean, Chelsea nailed every single question. She nailed everything, like down to as soon as she was chosen, I was like, she's gonna win. Like, it's not even close. I think Chelsea's such a great speaker, and she outlined her game perfectly. She didn't make herself the villain, but she also owned up to the things that she did. And she said, yeah, I just constantly positioned myself because that's worked. I maintained relationships. And I think Mackenzie I think she did get caught up in the, like, she would just seem, it was like she wasn't prepared at all. She had no idea what she was going to say, which is like, if you're in the final 3, you have like a few days to figure out. You have to assume. Like, you just have to go in, like, I need to outline my game. I need to really take time, think about, if I'm against Cam, what is my argument? If I go against Chelsea, what is my argument? And how do I highlight my game? Because these are questions that people are going to be asking. And when they did, she seemed like, I won a lot of competitions. I was, targeted in the beginning. And it's like, yeah, but like you had, like, it seemed like she had given it no thought, which is surprising because
She also kept saying my game speaks for itself. She said it multiple times. And when you're in a situation like that, you really have to explain to the people, what exactly you're talking about.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
there's a moment, sorry to interrupt. There's a moment when Chelsea and Mackenzie are sitting there and Chelsea starts to sell herself. And the first part, you see Mackenzie is sitting there with a smile and doesn't realize that she's going to do that. Like that she was going to like really campaign for this win. And Mackenzie is smiling, but it's a phony political smile where it's like, I don't know how to stop this. Because then it was only that second half of questioning that Mackenzie actually kind of snapped to. But at that point, it was already too late.
Yeah, 100%. And you could see, I was watching that same thing. You could see Mackenzie, I was about to bring that up. You could see Mackenzie's face, the mistake that she had made as soon as Chelsea started speaking. And like, she was like, because they're all like, oh my God, thank you. We did it. 2 girls at the end. Chelsea goes in and starts selling herself, and Mackenzie's like, "Oh fuck! Oh no, 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 no! Like, can I get Cam back in here?" Like, just completely, like, you could see it. She was
It
like,
was
"I love."
masterful. It was
It,
masterful on Chelsea's part. She's talking about Mackenzie's parents. Mackenzie's still like, oh, she's talking about my parents. Meanwhile,
yeah,
she's already on her third sentence as to why she manipulated Mackenzie the entire time. It's so good.
and the benefit was Chelsea was like, "Listen, the biggest game move that Mackenzie's going to say, I orchestrated it." And she got out in front of that to begin with. So no matter what Mackenzie says, because Mackenzie was like, well, no, I got Lee out for me and no one influenced me. After the fact that Chelsea said, I influenced that whole thing. That was probably the biggest, which was the biggest game move because, I mean, Leah wasn't going after Mackenzie. Like, that was a huge move on Chelsea's part. And the fact that she got out, she just outlined her game perfectly. The diamond thing was awesome. Great reference. That's a really like beautiful way to put that. And it was just like there's no competition, but you could see Mackenzie's face like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like I do respect Mackenzie for making that choice because, it's like the Derek and Cody when there's one like kind of clear winner and you could easily take somebody else or you could easily take this person, but you want to go up against the best. But I think Mackenzie kind of underestimated how good of a game Chelsea played, which is exactly what Chelsea wanted.
Yeah.
So it was
I
like check and mate Chelsea.
I think the difference between the Derek and Cody thing is that I think Cody was a little bit more self-aware with the fact that Derek was probably going to be hard to beat in the end. Whereas I think Mackenzie, she says that she thinks that she has at least 4 votes and the others would be up for grabs. So, I mean, do you guys think that it should have been 7-0? Because I do. I think that she should have swept and she did.
Yeah, and I'm glad because I feel like this is a lesson to Mackenzie because she's so young and she did it. Overall, she played a really good game.
Yeah.
It's just in the end, she listen. If Mackenzie went the other way and chose to go with Cam, we would have been looking at her like we would. She'd be a legend, right? All those wins, that move that you have to do at the end, as difficult as it is, um, she would have been a legend. And just one decision, now she's sort of forgettable.
Yeah, that narrative of because to Mackenzie, if Mackenzie would have cut Chelsea, would have been like the icing on the cake to an insane season, and she easily beats Chelsea, or she easily beats Cam. Maybe a sweep, maybe even Chelsea's like, well, game recognizes game. But even if she doesn't, even if Chelsea's bitter and votes for one vote Cam, you can't vote for Cam. No one's voting for Cam.
No.
So
His
it
dogs in the
was
crib
like,
are not on jury, baby.
no, they were not. They were not. And uh, but yeah, it's just I guess it's one of those things when it comes down to it, you have to. And I think she mentioned it, or even Chelsea mentioned it. I'm thinking with my brain and my heart are saying two different things. And I think that's the problem with Mackenzie. But when it comes, you have to weigh the options. It's like, okay, is it $750,000, an easy $750,000, and like legacy, or friends? And she chose friendship, and I guess that's the real winner. I mean, she got $75,000. That's pretty sick. So
I do think that post, like listening to some of her exit press, she is a little bit sad by what I think she feels some type of way about Chelsea kind of like legitimately manipulating her in some capacities, but yeah, I mean, they're probably still gonna be friends, right?
I mean, yeah, but you know, that's not Chelsea's laughing all the way to the bank. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's sorry, that's the game.
I also think
Speak
when you come off a show like that, you're better in groups. Like you're more famous in groups. If you're just like somebody sees you at the farmers market, it's like who cares? They see you roll in the farmers market and you're with like Bowie Jane, then it's like, oh, that's interesting. There's the
Yeah.
two of them. I wanted to do a Bowie Jane reference. Pat loved
Yeah.
Bowie.
All
one
right,
more, one
we're
more.
two for the episode. You gotta get to five.
Um, Speaking of laughing all the way to the bank, another person that made some money on the finale was America's favorite, house guest. What did we think of Tucker? Because he had a lot of camera time in this finale. He had, the instigator, he had the Rubina with the flowers, he had America's favorite house guest. What was it too much, Tucker? Did you guys feel that way?
I I thought I think you should give Tucker his time because that made sense. What I did think was what was weird was he was bringing a lot of energy in a room that had absolutely no energy. That that audience was dead. I don't know what it was. Like it just felt weird. Like it felt weird. Like the whole thing felt weird. And Tucker's being all goofy and kind of like, oh, let me go to Rabina and give her a hug. Up, oh, no, sorry. I mean, it was like weird, and he was saying jokes, and some people were laughing, but some people, it was like a dead room. It's like you're trying to make something like exciting and fun with an audience or a live thing that's like not working. It did. I don't. I guess I was just reading too much into it. I was like, this fucking crowd is dead. I'd be bombing up there right now. And it's like, there's so much going
Is
on.
this th
But
is this thing on? Is this thing on?
yeah, dude, I was like, what the? It was weird.
Well, his energy was so bizarre. I think it's like I kind of forgot about it a little bit because he's been off for a while, and I realized that I didn't really like him just around. I liked him when he was competing, and then he would have a plan, and then he would back it up, and that's what I really enjoyed. Just him as a person, he's a strange dude, and he makes weird noises, and he's just like he doesn't care. He's so goofy, and the back and forth with Rabina was so bizarre. Like it was so uncomfortable. Like I didn't want to watch it. I felt like I was watching a couple and they didn't know I was watching. And so it was like they were acting a certain type of way because they didn't realize that people, it was really uncomfortable. And she's like batting her eyes and he's like, it was like gross to me.
A lot of these cast members, like a lot of them are just doing like really silly bits and like doing like a lot of faces and noises.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know. It was
Are you guys surprised that Kenny didn't get a question?
No, I'm surprised they asked Kenny to be there. It was like, what, Kenny, we want you to spend as much time with your fucking family as possible. You just wasted CBS's money enough and time. Thank you. Bye. Fucking
So
Also,
speaking of Kenny, like just awkwardness, how about when they went to, is it Joseph with the mustache? And he told us about all the people that died in in his area. It was like, Joseph, you understand this is like a live special, right? Like we're supposed to be in a great mood. And you're talking about people drowning and stuff. It's like, he's like, it was just so
yeah.
uncomfortable. It's like
That
typical Joseph. Like he doesn't know. He works at the video store. He doesn't know.
it was also weird
thank God he was there. Thank God he made it.
yeah, thank God Joseph was there because that was the only thing they said to him. That was it. That was the only and which was weird. And it's
That'd be
like,
great if
listen,
he interrupted and was like, wait, now we're up to 14 dead in my
yeah,
area.
yeah. Uh, when Julie threw it to him, and I was like, okay, they're probably going to be like, okay, if you want to donate to the Red Cross, here's like none of that. They were just like, well, we're glad you could be here. Moving on. Like I was like, oh, why did you just cue that up for no fucking reason? Like I get Joseph's from there. I was like, well, oh, why don't we like put in like a link or like, hey, if you want to donate to the Red Cross, here we none of that. I thought I was like, oh, okay, that's a like nice way to like, raise awareness to like help rebuild and stuff. No, none of that. Just want to know about how many dead is in there in your city, Joseph.
And we
Thank
also had to hear like his play by play. Like first I wasn't coming. Then at 3 o'clock, I thought maybe I should show up. It's like, dude, we don't care. We
you.
don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah, and it's also like, oh, like it's also funny. Not funny. It's not funny, but Joseph being like, I thought I should be here. It's like, really? Because people are dying where you're from. So you're not. I think you just kind of wanted to get out of there, which that's what it seems like.
You could be handing things out to people. Like you could be like really like
Yeah, really
shoveling
making it.
mud out of their living room, but no, you're there.
No, because you're Dr. Will. You're the Dr. Will this season. I forgot. Yeah, we need you here.
Um, they played the hits with the charcuterie board. They threw
That
the
was fun.
charcuterie segment back up. Angela, still kind of
How
crazy
about
about
she
that.
try to pretend like she was like, no, I was just having fun. It was like, no, bitch, you were. You
We
were
saw.
real upset about those meats and cheeses.
We
Like,
saw.
don't try to play it off now like you're also part of the bit. That's
Yeah,
not.
you were legit crying. You're a 53-year-old woman crying about meats and cheeses. You psychopath.
How how jarring do you think the her like going back to reality is going to be for her? Do you think it's going to be crazy?
I
I hope for a while it is.
I weirdly think she's not gonna like
Pick up
it.
on it?
It's gonna go right over her head. She's like, yeah, I don't know what I did wrong. Like I don't. Yeah, they were like they're kind of showing me not a great light. That's not everything. Like I have my reason. Like she's just so like I I am right face. And even if you hold up a mirror, she's like, well, that's the way it is. Like I don't think there's ever going to be that moment of like, oh yeah, maybe I was a little much, and maybe I should probably like not be an asshole. I don't know. I don't think
Which
there's going
is it's so crazy because I feel like like two-thirds of this finale was geared towards making her look bad, and somehow I don't think the message got across to her.
not
I
even
think
a.
I think she's trying to patent the phrase crazy eyes and you twit. But you know what the funny thing is, typically when somebody does something that's a little controversial, Julie, as a journalist, holds them to it and like will say, like, hey, do you realize Angela just walked away scot-free? She was the biggest bully, maybe even said some borderline racist things, and for some reason, we're okay with it.
It makes me think that they're gonna bring her back.
I I think they are. I think Angela and Tucker 100% they're going to bring back, and I that's a good point, dude. That's because you want to squeeze as much juice out of that as you can because
But have we had enough Angela? Like, have we had enough of that?
I've had enough of Angela in my life. I'm all
Yeah,
good, but
I'm ready for her to go.
I I just like I think there's a hero villains season coming up pretty soon, and you slap her on with the villains, it's going to be must see TV.
Duke, you know what would be amazing is if, like, as we're talking, Angela just appeared in your shot and like walked up, and we realized after the fact that you've been broadcasting from her home.
I am her son. No. A funny tweet that I saw was how funny is it that Tucker and Mackenzie basically made the same amount of money this season, and she made it all the way to the end. He wins the 50K from America's Favorite. He won the 20 from the AI investigator or
Oh
what
yeah,
instigator,
Oh,
and
right.
then she won the 75,000. So they basically almost made out the same, and he was only in the house for 6 weeks.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
that is amazing. That just goes to show it's like he was the best part of this entire season. He was just like not. I mean, Chelsea is a all time player, like great play, but she was like she was a pro in like a pee-wee football game. It's like these guys were. It was like no strategy. Like towards the back half a little bit, but like this entire game was very sloppy gameplay strategically, and so Chelsea just like murdered. She played a flawless game, like almost. She was really, really great. But Tucker, man, just brought all the excitement. It was fantastic. Yeah, of course, I would vote for him every single season if he was on. He's just like he's must see TV.
Yeah. We leave the season with three potential showmances, three potential relationships. Um, that you forgot the one.
I for some reason Matt McKenzie, I was like that shouldn't count,
You don't think that's gonna be a thing?
dude. No, he's weird. He's a weird guy.
But she said there's a conversation that's due. What
Yeah,
does
and
that
then she's
mean?
Also 22 years old. She like
and
super
then she's
young.
gonna check out his Instagram and be like, I'm good. I'm telling you, check out his Instagram. You're gonna get the ick.
Between Rubina and Tucker and Quinn and Leah, which one do you think has legs?
Probably Tucker and Rubino. They seemed like the most like showmance.
And they're both so bizarre that maybe
They
that's what
are. They really are.
They
It's just
really are.
weird. All right, guys. Well, that's all. Great season overall. It was one of my favorite seasons in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe in the past like five years, it was really good.
Yeah.
Um, but besides that, anything else before we close out for the season?
No, man. Thanks for having us, Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure all season. I can't wait to chat for next one, man.
Hey, wait, Duke, real quick. Does anybody got a map? Because we're lost at sea.
Shit.